Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this one, we're going to be talking about Invasion. Is it broken? What do you think of the game mode? I'm going to talk about it a little bit, some of my thoughts. We're going to look at the last Invasion, specifically the Sinister Six one, depending on when you're watching this video. And we're going to look at 17 of the #1 scores across all servers. So, and we're going to see sort of basically their high scores. So we're going to see the top score in the world all the way. I mean, well, the top 17 scores, I guess, and who those players, what the score is, who those players are, and what they play. So we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. I really want to focus on kind of what I see in that game mode, and maybe does it need to be fixed? Frankly, I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about it. Let me know, check out my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the description below, comment below in the description below. Actually, let me know in your comments below. In the description below is my Discord. If you want to come over to that and also let me know there, have a ongoing dialogue with myself or anybody else, I always appreciate. That's the easiest way to follow along with content, because that YouTube algorithm can be sort of a pain. So if you want to hammer down the like button, click notification bell, subscribe, all that sort of thing, we're going to appreciate you. All right, so let's go check this out and see what we think.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so first, before I go into the actual event, the craft event, this one was okay. It had the region box for 1,000. I didn't get anything that I really wanted. You could have done this Spider-Man companion for 500. You get some shards for it, but that's 1 star. What is that, like 10 shards? So I know that's a pretty big grind. I do like Spider-Man the companion with Spider-Man the character, but I don't know a lot who are actually doing that quite yet. But I'm personally a fan. So, and then you've got the No Way Home stuff at 4 stars. Anyway, you guys know it was there. So the crafting event, fine. I could have used a little bit more. I basically did the 1 regional and then went in and got a bunch of these enhancers as much as I could for whenever I needed to use them for something big. I don't know what that might be, but something. So in this part, I don't necessarily think's broken. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. They changed these. I've gotten to the point where I actually don't even go for these anymore because they're just so hard to actually get something good. I'm kind of like, whatever. My drops on this, let's close this for 1 second. My drops, terrible. I got 2 reds and I'm still using a 3 in one of my slots. I think that I like this game mode, but I do think that Marvel needs to do something to make it so that there might be a little bit more to that. I mean, because you think about it, it's like one of these cores, or one of these has a yellow core to it. And I didn't even fully use it. And it's just like, I just put that on there because it's like, it's a decent 1 green core. This one was good. I definitely like this one quite a bit. But I don't know. I mean, I think that in general that we need to see these things get a little bit better. Like I said, these ones down here, they were just, ugh. So I'd be curious. Yeah, see, I'm still even using that one there. So that's actually pretty good. So they had just a couple good ones in there. Anyway, but the part that I want to mainly focus on is this game mode broken. So you can still do the rankings here. Not the report. That's different. The rankings. So Snap, again, on the Omega Flight server is one of the best Invasion players out there, one of the best Storms out there for sure. We'll look actually what we see is the top 10 Storms, I guess, if you want to put it that way, at least as far as the Invasion mode goes. So Snap's typically up towards the top of this particular server. Very strong, but typically what we'll see in a lot of these rankings is Storms. But as you look at this, you saw Black Widow and Mamba. Mamba's one of the better PvE players as well, especially for his power. Is really impressive. Half Send, I can't say enough good things about him. And then when you, after look at that, you've got an Iron Man, a Widow, a Captain Marvel, a Widow. And I'm like, how can I come on here and talk about Storm being great? You know what I mean? Iron Man, Spider-Man, then we got a Storm, then we got a Strange, then we got a Storm, Spider-Man, Storm, Widow. Iron Man, Widow, you know, so it's actually at that point, it's sort of like, okay, it starts to level off a little bit. So I'm kind of like, all right, it's not a super dominant, but at the top, it seems to be dominated by storms. So let's just stay on that topic for a bit, I guess, before I get into the what I think is broken aspect of it, because it's a better transition, I suppose. So what we're gonna look at here is the actual best scores in the game. So right over here, you'll see the top 17 scores. I don't know where these came from. I know there's multiple servers out there that get these sort of things. And yeah, they got to put together. So let's just look at that for a second. What do we think? It seems to be a little bit hot. I don't know if I want to drink it. Storms everywhere, right? So I mentioned Snap. Snap is number 6 on this thing. And the difference between his spot and number 1, what is that? 150K, basically 153K. That's a lot of points, not gonna lie. So Bulba Squad, kicking some butt. Claire also kicking some butt, but Bulba Squad, almost 40K above him, 38,000. You've got Elusive, another Storm, Ike, Zeke, and then Snap, Victorious, King Fatimus, Sorenger? I don't know how to pee it. I don't know how to pee it. It did it twice on a Storm and a Widow, so that's pretty crazy and impressive. We got 3 more Storms, a Widow, an Iron Man, and a Storm. So of the top 17, 1, 2, 3. So 14 of the top 17 are Storms of all the scores worldwide. So she is clearly, in my mind, the best PvE character if you're really looking at things, at least AoE PvP. You know, it's interesting. I'd love to see an invasion where it's just pure, like almost like a Dark Zone boss type situation, where you just got to actually have an insane amount of high level single target DPS. Like one target, not because right now I think, granted, Storm can do really good single target like Crow, technically a single target, right? But there was a lot of AoE on top of that in the earlier phases. Thanos, you had AoE on the earlier phases and then 2 bosses after, so it was a mixed bag. I want to see one that is like 3 stages of singular bosses, where it's like, I'm attacking one person who's really hard and takes a lot of damage to kill. The second round is a little bit harder, and then there's a third round that's the hardest. I'd love to see that and see how that shifts things around a little bit. But right now, with the AoE PvE situation in Invasion, Storm is reigning supreme, okay? So now, I talked about being broken. It's not about Storm. These players, congratulations, you're awesome. Storm's the bomb. You guys are the bomb. Well done. The part that I want to talk about potentially being broken is, I don't even know how all these guys did it, guys and gals did this. But I know there's methods that when people go in there to increase their scores, I've done it myself, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't, because it's the way to get the highest scores. I do all the damage. You know, other people won't do damage. Now, there's different methods to do that. But I sit there and think about it. I'm like, why? This just seems lame. Like, hey, I need 3 people to come in here and not do anything or do something very specific, and then I'm going to do everything. Maybe it's intended that way. I'd like to think, you know, Spec Ops was kind of weird in a different situation where the Spec Ops portion of it might be it was a little broken, and you'd want to get top score to be able to get your best score. And if you did not do that, people would quit. They do the things, so they reworked it. So now it seems like, oh guys, let's just collectively get this done as fast as we can collectively. I sort of wonder if maybe Invasion should be similar, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm starting to talk myself out of this now in the middle of the video where I'm saying this is broken, because to get number 1, you want to be the best of something, right? You want to be able to do something by yourself the quickest. Of course, you need some people to help you get there, but it'd be interesting if I'm a part of the team that helps get to that quickest run. You know, maybe I get some good points too. I don't know. So I'm just wondering, and maybe this is more of a question for everyone, is this the way it should be? Yes, it is fine because we want the top player, because you get a title, and this is like the most exclusive title in the game, I'd say, because it doesn't happen every week. It happens, once every few weeks. You know what I mean? And only one person on a server gets it once every month or so. And that's pretty impressive. And then who knows if it's going to cycle back to it. It might be a one-time thing, which would make it crazy exclusive to get, where, nobody else is getting it. It's just that one person. So I don't know. If I have to make a decision at this point, I think I'd like to leave it where it's at. But I would like to find a way that it's less of a, I just need 3 bodies in here right now, and I'm going to do, all of the work or damage, and you're just going to basically not do a whole lot. I'd like to see that adjusted. It seems like there's something not off there. Maybe it's in between that and what they've got in Spec Ops. I don't know. I'm not, the game developer necessarily. I'm bringing this up. I hadn't thought through some actual specific fixes yet, because I kind of wanted to bring this up and see what people thought first. Do you guys actually think it's fine and it's working as intended and it doesn't need to be changed? If not, like I mentioned, give me a comment below, or in the Discord, which is in the description below. Click that link, join the Discord, come let us know in the MFR chat there what you're thinking about this, whether you think something's got to change or not. As I mentioned earlier, YouTube can be sort of a pain in the butt. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you. It helps the algorithm. If you want to help further, and hammer down like buttons and click the notification bells and subscribe, we always appreciate you. Share with your aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, grandma, grandpa, neighbors, whoever. Anyway, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.